Yes, sir. What's going on, Unc?
What's going on, cuz? How you doing, sir?
Man, you know I'm good, man. Even when it ain't good, I'm always good, man. You know how
You
that
bet
go.
you better say it, bro. You gotta say it. You gotta fight for your happiness, bro. I say it all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir, man. It's good. Good to see
Yes,
you,
sir.
man. We about to jump in this thing. I got a hot one for you. I definitely want to stick around, Doc.
Unc
Hey,
Cal and Dave Jones are the hosts of the show. We living in some difficult times, as most of us know. Let's lift each other up and put down the stress. If you didn't know, the name of the show is called Rap.
What's going on, fam? Dave Jones here, Uncle Cal. Listen, today we're going to deal and dig into depression, specifically for black men, just because that's who and what we are. So it's easy to empathize from the perspective that we got. But I came across and I'm gonna let you come in a second, Cal. I came across this clip from Tyrese. I didn't watch the whole segment. He was on Swear in the Morning, but he said something that was really powerful that kind of provoked us. I shared it with Cal earlier this week, and it was like, man, this would be a great topic. As you know, here we always about faith and society and figuring out how we can stand on some principles and deal with the battles that are a result of or consequences of how society has kind of baked some things in us. And so we want to go ahead and make this happen. What that sound? How that sound, bro?
that sounds great, man. Real quick, man. For my people, we all, just need like a little quick word of a day. I wanted to drop this on everybody. A little quick, probably quickest prayer y'all ever heard. Father God, we want to thank you for correction and direction. You know what I'm saying? Because it's through our correction, a lot of time God gives us direction. So thank you, Jesus. Amen. So
Amen.
yeah, yo, for sure, bro. So let's jump on into it, baby.
All right, let's get it. All right, here we go. I might have to restart it, so bear with me, guys. But this is Tyrese, and I want you to understand this take. We're gonna dive in.
Tell you why black men are out here and the rates are through the roof.
Suicide.
They tear us down when we don't communicate and express our thoughts and feelings and sentiments or our vulnerabilities. And then as soon as we talk and express our thoughts and vulnerabilities, we get our ass beat and get torn down for that too. But I'm not gonna let myself drive me crazy from keeping all this bouncing around in my head. So as long as these interviews are scheduled, motherfucker will show up and talk.
Wow. Man, he said a whole lot in that, Doc.
Man.
He said a whole lot. What's your immediate thoughts when you heard it? Because I got some fire in there.
Man, my immediate thoughts, man, was I just kind of flashed back, at my childhood and a lot of our childhoods, man, and just thought about how, when you used to fall as a kid or, you used to, get hurt as a kid or, deal with something as an emotion as a kid. It's always been man up or shut up or boy, you ain't no punk and get up and this, So we was taught, man, that, as a man, you just got to suck it up, even as a kid, you was taught like, just shut up and suck it up. These are the ways to life. These are the facts of life. You just got to deal with it. And it was just a hard way that the old school cats has brought us up. And now you look at the new era kids, this Generation X, so they call it. And you say to yourself, and a lot of them dealing with these single parent homes, but in most cases it's mothers, and you deal with them being so emotional, and just first thing you want to like, oh man, they feminine, or they quote unquote gay, or they just girly, this, that, and the other. Because nowadays, a lot of these younger folks, especially men, these younger folks, they deal more in emotion. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just, it's not an even balance, man, where, you're taught to learn how to communicate your emotions, but you taught, to be a man, stand on being a man, and and like how far is it that you go before like you just getting too emotional, so it's that's a slicky slope, man. That's a real slippery slope.
It's so many things. I'm gonna come back to Tyrese, but you spitting some fire there and some points that we need to touch on. I think a lot of things just need to be redefined, specifically what a man is.
Man.
Right? The society has, like you just said, given us these pictures of being hard, being tough, being isolated, figuring it out on your own. You know what I'm saying? Don't show emotions, as if the emotion was a thing that God didn't place inside of a man. Right. And so, you run away from these terms as if they're feminine. Right. And then so therefore it's a filter, a subconscious filter in your brain that says you shouldn't show emotion. You shouldn't be vulnerable. You shouldn't be transparent
Right.
about what you're going through in your mind.
Mhm.
But that is ridiculous. It is ridiculous to say that I need to cover the emotions that is inside of me. So let's define a couple more terms, because we're still redefining what manhood is. I think if we talk about emotions, emotion is really just, I break it in two words: emotion, energy and motion. Energy is an idea or a thought of something you've been trained on. And when that idea gets baked inside of you, when something triggers that thought process, there's a feeling that comes about. You follow what I'm saying? And so a lot of times when you get these feelings in your body, whether it be of depression, whether it be of you're not good enough, whether it be the insecurity or self-doubt, that's because there's some thoughts or some energy thoughts, spiritual thoughts that are in your head that remind you of what the world has looked down on you, and you don't measure up to the metric of how you should be as a man. And so you take on these emotions that pull out a feeling, but you have to keep all that stuff in your head because it's looked at as soft for talking about this negative feeling that you have, you know what I'm saying, in this process. And so everybody has emotions. And when you deal with emotions because of things that are in your mindset and you don't know how to battle them, it's silly to do that by yourself. It's silly to not find someone, whether it be a companion, whether it be your boy, whether it be a mentor, whether it be a counselor, coach, whatever you want to call it, to release these thoughts that are circulating in your head is absolutely necessary and is 100% manly to communicate what you're going through.
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
So as Tyrese was saying in his clip, he was saying, I'm not going to let myself drive me crazy. Well, what did he mean about that?
Right.
The thoughts that I have in my head, if they're in there and circulating and I can't counsel with anyone, your own thoughts will drive you crazy.
Right. Right. That's good, man. And a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, give Tyrese a lot of flack for the way he expressed himself and how he just let it all hang out, man. See, but a lot of people confuse compassionate with frustration and anger. You know, and I talk to a lot of nephews about that when we have different issues or we go through things and we can't see eye to eye. You know what I'm saying? I tell them, man, sometimes I come across a little harder or a little sound like I'm a little frustrated, or I'm putting my foot on your neck a little bit, because these are the things the old school G's did to me to make me stand up and learn what it was like to be a man of your word, stand on being real. And it's just like nowadays, you know what I'm saying, fake is the new real. And it's just like at some point you got to stand for something or fall for anything. You got to stand for set yourself apart and being real. And when you like that, you know what I'm saying, sometimes you get emotional because you want more and better out of people that you know what I'm saying, don't have to be that. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to, you know what I'm saying, say you're going to be somewhere in 5 minutes and pull up in 5 minutes. It's easy to give a man your word on anything and just do what you say you're going to do. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, we go home and we go out here in the streets and we work hard for our families so we can make sure we do what we say we're going to do for our kids. And lines of communication all boil back to that, because how you communicate and make things happen and people know they can trust you and stand on your word, ultimately, you know what I'm saying, predicates how you stand in business and what direction your life go, as far as just being a stand-up dude. So, you know, a lot of times communication and getting emotional and just talking to people, you know, whether, you know what I'm saying, sometimes just coming off too soft or coming off too hard, like you say, it's like you got to find an even balance, you know what I'm saying? Because if you tell a guy something and you telling them and you sound like you being too soft, they looking at it like you whining, or man, you acting like a girl. You know what I'm saying? You come off a little frustrated and manly with it. Man, why you so mad and you upset? It's just like, bro, you know what I'm saying? We need to find ways to communicate, and we need to understand, like, people. Every individual is not the same. Everybody's not going to communicate the same or like you. So with that being said, you just got to learn your people and understand where they're coming from and know, you know what I'm saying, when their heart is right in that thing. When their heart is right because they expect more out of you, you know what I'm saying? And you got to be able to give people what they're giving you. And when you can't deal with people that's on the same page as you and y'all can't see eye to eye where, you know what I'm saying, they giving you way less than what you giving them, those type of people, they're drained and they pulling from you and they emotionally, you know what I'm saying, setting you back. So you just got to find a way to get away from that type of individual, because If you find yourself working hard to be real with somebody and give them your all just because you got, you know what I'm saying, you want more out of them, or you see something in them and you trying to pull that thing up out of them because it's something God put in you that wants to exercise, you know what I'm saying, the strengths that God put in you to pull something out of somebody else. Sometimes you got to back away from that thing when God put them on your heart to do something for you, and let's let God, you know what I'm saying, take over and do his thing with that person. Because a lot of times, you know, God, you know what I'm saying, grace and mercy is something else. You know what I'm saying? That's something we don't want to get away from. And as men, we try to deal with each other, you know what I'm saying? You deal with different guys and they're not where you at in life. And when people not where you at in life and they can't understand you and they can't understand why you stand on things the way you do, or why you know what I'm saying, you so on point with things and you don't take things for granted, and you know time is important, then you gotta sometimes you just gotta step back and let that person grow into their maturity. You know what I'm saying? Because they'll have you off, or they'll be talking about you like you, or what, man, it's hard to deal with dude, man. He always, but they don't understand that they need to look at the man in the mirror and look at the reflection of themselves and understand why they falling short. Because so many people go through life blaming other people for their faults and don't understand all the time, bro. You are in the position you in because you don't know how to deal with just being real. You don't know how to communicate. You don't know how to have that fine line of not being too emotional, not being too hard. So as men, all men and women, we need to just step back sometimes and find better ways to communicate. And just like Tyrese say, you got to talk to yourself, but don't let it bottle up so much to where it's like you exploding and running yourself crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because you'll sit back and be by yourself looking at the whole world like they're crazy. But if you ain't taking time to work on yourself and understand where you falling short at, then it might just be you. So we all a work in progress. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's important for us to get our alone times. It's important for us to pray. It's important for us to have a relationship with our God, whoever our God may be. And because that's the thing, the one thing that's going to allow us to see our shortcomings and allow us to work on ourselves, bro.
Yeah, man, that's good. You know, again, we're stemming off this clip from Tyrese where basically it was dealing with depression and how the suicide rates are drastically increasing. And the reason that he defined was because we have thoughts that are in our head, whatever they're from a, you know, a lack of insecurity, a self-doubt, or a lack of reaching the metric or the goal that everybody says, what is a man? And so and the problem is a lot of times when you're dealing with these things alone, and you don't have nobody to counsel or affirm you or bring you through these particular situations as a result of some of our shortcomings, then you go in a really suicidal, you know what I'm saying, place. And depression kind of leads to that. It's kind of like the end of it. But I want to always help you guys and redefine what depression is. I don't think depression is as bad as we think it is. It's an indication that we need to help somebody. But what is depression? I said this before. You have depression is where we take a thought and a negative thought about ourselves and rethink that thought over and over and over, and we depress ourselves. So there's an internal battle of what you are not. No one else is holding you back at this point. But if you get a hold to a thought, an energy, and that energy gets inside of you, it takes control of you and it zaps you of your ability to go produce. And then we end up isolated by ourselves, battling something where somebody needs to come and speak into our lives and help us to get out of this negative loop of what we are not. So if you're dealing with depression, one practical way to do it is to find somebody that you can trust and be transparent and vulnerable with. Well, Dave, I don't have nobody that I can trust with some of these intimate issues. Well, pay somebody, whether it be a pastor, a coach, a consultant, that you can release these disorganized negative thoughts about yourself and have them to speak into your life and remind you of your ability, your capability of what you can produce, so you don't battle those negative thoughts alone.
That's good, bro. That's good. A therapist, man. And it's so deep, man, because, you know, you always hear Charlamagne talking about we all need a therapist, man. You know, if something came to my mind, I thought about that Kanye song when he say, we all self-conscious. I'm just the first to admit it. You know what I'm saying? And when you think about that, man, you know, the transparency in that, right? You know, we all got things, you know what I'm saying, in our lives, or had things in our lives that we insecure about, man. But you just got to, you know what I'm saying, get the strength to face them demons, to face them insecurities, you know what I'm saying? Whether it be, you know, trying to work out and you know what I'm saying, you can't beat the diet. That's something I done went through, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, I'm getting to a point where, you know what I'm saying, I've been whooping on this diet because I'm sick of feeling like I'm working out hard and ain't getting the results that I want to get, you know what I'm saying? Because I really use my workout as a way to, you know what I'm saying, relieve my frustrations, you know what I'm saying, to help battle my anger, you know what I'm saying, my anger issues, you know what I'm saying? And then you know what I'm saying, you get to them points where you feel like, man, I'm doing all this work, I'm working hard, I'm sore, and I ain't seeing the results, you know what I'm saying? But you know what it takes, you know what I'm saying? We all know what it takes in our insecurity, you know what I'm saying, to get to where we feel better about the things we're insecure about. But then we find ourselves, you know, having that moment where it's like something holding us back from trying to battle with that one thing we trying to whoop. So we just got to get strong enough to say, you know what, I'm sick of this thing whooping me, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I did, you know what I'm saying, after like 5 years of working out, bro, and never getting the results I want, I started intermittent fasting. How many years you been talking to me about intermittent fasting? You've been doing it, bro. Well, 3-4 years. You know what I'm saying? Well, I keep telling you, I'm going to jump on it with you. I'm going to jump on it. And now I ain't talked to you about it, but I've been doing it, you know what I'm saying, like 3 weeks, bro. And I done whooped this thing. And I lost like 11 pounds, bro, in a week and a half, man, seeing cuts and definition stuff I've been trying to get, man, lifting all this heavy weights, messing my joints up because I didn't want to face that one thing I was battling with, which was a diet, because food is my go-to place when I'm stressed out and I'm depressed. So that's the thing I turn to when, you know, I'm having a rough day or I'm going through something. And, you know, I just, you know what I'm saying, I turn to food, you know what I'm saying, as my stress reliever. So we just got to get to a point where we lock in with God, you know what I'm saying, and we get so tapped in with just wanting to battle some of the stuff we feel like we can't conquer, and feel like God gonna give us the strength and abilities, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of this stuff, man, that we go out into the world and we release this anger and this frustration, and we feel like we got things that's having us in a low depressed place that we can't deal with. It'd be a lot of it. We take this stuff out in the world and we cast our problems out in the world, and we take it out in the world because it's something in our own personal life that we battling with that we feel like is whooping us, you know what I'm saying? And we can't beat this thing. And a lot of times you just got to constantly check your attitude, check yourself, and just say, you know what? I can't take my frustrations out on the world because there's different things that's going in my life that I'm unhappy about, to where it's like, okay, where I'm going to lash out on people that ain't got nothing to do with what I'm going through, because you really want to say, I'm hurting. I need some help in this area, and I just don't know how to battle this thing. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that was a real great point you made, man, about, you know, just finding something. And man, all my homeboys know that about me, bro. You know what I'm saying? I man, listen, they know they secret safe with me. They know they can pick the phone up, and I ain't about to hang up and pick the phone up and say, hey, Dave, man, you know what I'm saying? Little nephew called me and said, man, it's crazy, man. That's why I told them, you know what I'm saying? They know, man, listen, I'm going to give them the most sound advice, you know what I'm saying, that I can give them. I'm going to take myself totally out of it. And I'm going to just give them, you know what I'm saying, what they need to hear, whether it's what they want to hear or not. I'm going to tell them the truth, bro. And that's what we need. We need stand-up people in our life that's just going to give it to you, uncut, raw, and just, you know what I'm saying? And then at the end of it, tell you, hey, man, I love you. I'm praying for you. I'm battling with you with this thing. And keep people in their prayers. It's more than just, you know what I'm saying, talking to people and saying, bro, I love you, I'm praying for you. And then every time you say a prayer, you asking for God to give you something. You ain't even thinking about nobody else. You going to God wanting something, but you ain't doing nothing for God. So, man, this thing, man, it's a battle, man. We just got to keep living, learning, you know what I'm saying, loving life, and just asking God to just keep touching us in areas where we don't understand where we missing it at. Because a lot of times we fail from lack of understanding. We don't even understand that we missing it, bro. You know what I'm saying? We go through life making the same mistakes over and over again because something hasn't dawned on us to say, bro, you got a problem in that area and you need to correct it. So that's why I ask God to do, man. When I pray, man, I ask God, show me myself, God, show me my correction areas. Just show me what I need to work on to just be better for your people, man. You know what I'm saying? And to be better for myself, so I can look at myself and be happy, you know what I'm saying, of where I brought myself from, where you brought me from, God, and just where you taking me. Because if you get outside of being selfish, everything you doing really supposed to be for making the world a better place. You want your light to shine so much where you ain't got to look for friends. People just gravitate to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Man, you said so much great stuff, and just authentic and integral that I think a lot of people need to hear. It's like 5 points in there, but I'm trying to pick one. But basically, like being in a position that you said that when you were lashing out in public and in those anger things, you said that really is a sign of something internally that you're battling.
Right.
And you don't know how to release that. And so that frustration is taken out on other people. It's like the punishment or the dealing with the thing that you need to do it yourself, we take out on other people.
Right.
So it's almost like those bad inputs that we have, they become outputs, and we hurt people in the process. So if you lashing out, kicking the dog, beating the kids, beating up the wife, you know what I'm saying? You doing all that stuff, cussing out your employees or your coworkers or whatever it is, everybody else is the problem. There's an internal struggle that is there,
right,
that we have to, you said it, we have to have the wherewithal to face the thing that's internal. And we're not talking at anybody, because we all have lashed out. We all have operated in anger. I've had to check myself when I see myself responding wrong with negative emotions, negative energy inside of me in motion, right? When I'm lashing out at people, it's like, Dave, it's just you. What is it that you need to battle? What is it that you're not facing that you need to either talk through and figure out a way to correct? And so this is where the depression comes from. Everybody else is the problem when we never say that we're the problem. We have to take ownership of the problems that we have, the insecurities that we have, the negative self-doubts that we have about ourselves, about what we are not doing. And we got to be comfortable and safe and transparent enough to find somebody to release that thought. Man, I could keep going. Like, so
man, I know.
Like,
go ahead.
You got the flow, baby. My new motive, many of you know that I'm, have a personal development company and I do coaching. And my new motivation that God has given me, I really have a heart of this whole transformation process. The Bible says, be not conformed to this world, but transform the renewance of your mind. I won't go into detail of what that means, but the transformation is the assignment for all of us. If we don't like where we are, basically how society has baked and trained us to be culturally, we have to take ownership and transform our thinking. And what we're transforming, here is what it is the negative thoughts and the assessments of ourselves, or the negative energy, or like darkness, negativity, you know what I'm saying? Anything that's opposite of goodness, love, joy, right? We got some of those things inside of us that is ruling or ruling our life. And so here's my point. This is how I define it. You heard it defined as demons, or, you know what I'm saying, spiritual wickedness, which it is all of that, sin or whatever. But the best way I could define it, bro, is monsters. What do I? Because there are monsters in our own life that are literally fighting us within our own mind, knocking us down. It is demonic thoughts that constrict us from doing the things that we know we need to do, changing the things that we know we need to change, and taking ownership of it. So my mission is against the monsters and the spiritual forces that are locked up in my body and anybody else. And we can face those things together. Why? Through the goodness, or the good thoughts, the kingdom of God, these principles of peace, these principles of love, these principles of gentleness, these principles of, you know what I'm saying, encouragement and taking courage. All these things are the opposite power that we need to attract in our lives so that we can fight against the monsters, right? The demonic forces that are killing us. It's no longer we can fake like it is not negativity that is keeping us bound. And the battle is within. So the sooner that we can talk through some of these issues, the sooner that we can find somebody else that we can trust. And this is why we are here, learning how to willingly respond and say, hey, we have issues, and take ownership of it so we can talk through it and come out of this mess. And not as the world sees and perceives us or scales us, but as we, through the goodness and the grace of God, to have opportunity and take advantage of life now and not miss it battling BS.
Man, that's so good, man. Like you said, you touched on a lot of good points, man. One thing you said a few seconds ago, man, it was just stuck in my spirit about, how you say, we get so frustrated, they take it out on the kids, they women and stuff, man. And it's funny you said that, because it brought me back to something that I wanted to actually, talk on this, and we could use it on another topic, you know what I'm saying? And it's just how you see in the world, how many people are recording these men getting in fights with these women. And a lot of cases you seeing these women whooping these men. And it's just like, where do we get to a point where a man can get in an argument with a woman so to the point where you got to put your hands on a woman, or you got to fight a woman? You know what I'm saying? That's one thing. If argument get out of hand, a woman just go crazy on you. But even then, you know, try to restrain them. But, you know, it's just that you're seeing so much of that, you know what I'm saying? And like you say, it come from a hurt place. It come from a, you know what I'm saying, a guy feeling like either he been beat up all his life, he ain't never, you know what I'm saying, can't never whoop a man, you know what I'm saying? He you know what I'm saying, he feel like his mother failed him, and he got hate towards his mother, you know what I'm saying? Some woman and broke his heart in a relationship, and he been played, so he mad at all, you know, because I was talking to one of my partners, man, the other night. We was on our way down the floods, man, and Sunday, and I was talking to him, man, and I'm like, you know, we was talking about, you know, just guys, and you know what I'm saying, and the anger they have with women, and how tough of a skin women got to put on nowadays because of how the man handled them, and how I'm like, you know what I'm saying, I don't understand how I can ever get to a point where you can, you know what I'm saying, let something go back and forth with you with a woman to where your ego arise so hard and stand up to the point where you let it go back and forth to where you feel like you got to brawl it out with a woman. You know what I'm saying? So many different angles you can come at with women to just back down and not feel like no brawl. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, hey, you a woman. In my mind, and for one, you know what I'm saying, you the weaker vessel. I want to protect you. I don't want to fight you. I don't want to beat you up. And on top of that, you know what I'm saying, I don't want to, you know what I'm saying, I don't want to look like a weak, you know what I'm saying, weak ass dude, because at the end of it, after it's all said and done, it's something in your spirit as a man that make you feel like, how did I let that go that far? How did I fail myself to become that weak to go at a woman and put my hands on a woman? So, you know, we all got to battle with them things, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, different situations arise and they escalate and you don't understand how it happened. And then you have to sit back and reflect and ask yourself, you know what I'm saying, where did I, you know what I'm saying, miss it at in my life to where I got this much anger built up to where I went at this woman like this, or I fought this woman like this, or I had to put my hand on this woman to the point where she made me feel less of a man, to the point where I had to prove to her that I could whoop her. You know what I'm saying? A woman, you know, you could take the shallow road, out. Oh, I'm sorry, sweetheart. Oh, excuse me, baby. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I ain't trying to have no serious, you know what I'm saying, altercation with you, sweetheart. I ain't trying to go there. Well, F you, punk, you know what I'm saying? Let them say what they say. You right, I'm gone. You know what I'm saying? But you don't, you know what I'm saying, go back and forth with no woman to the point where it get physical, man. So, you know, that's one thing I want to touch on, because as men, that's just something that we got, it's okay to back down to our women. It's okay. Mm-hmm. It's okay to walk away from a situation with a woman where she cuss you out or call you out your name when you get punked out by a woman, because at the end of the day, that's a woman. You ain't got to feel like no sucker because you let a woman disrespect you, man. Go ahead on. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so, man. You know, we as men, like you say, we just got to keep raising the bar with each other and keep, you know, striving to give each other, you know what I'm saying, excellence and different ways to look at things, to understand that, hey, I don't want to keep failing these tests. I don't want to keep having these, you know what I'm saying, situations I keep running into, because the devil gonna put you in situations. But a lot of times it be God trying to test your growth. You know what I'm saying? And if you watch yourself keep, you know what I'm saying, failing these tests, God can't elevate you to where he's trying to take you, because he allowing the devil to test you. Because, you know what I'm saying, it's spoken in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Like with Moses, you know, God let the devil come test you in certain areas when he know he done elevated you and he done took you through trial and tribulation and allowed you to get to a certain place in your life where he feel like you strong to resist that temptation. You can resist them things that you once couldn't whoop.
Yes, sir.
Because of you tapping in and getting into a place where, you know what I'm saying, you earning for it, and you know what I'm saying, you chasing it to where you want it so bad that you saying, God, try me, test me. I want to show you that I whoop this thing. But you know, it's a self thing, man. We just gotta keep, you know what I'm saying, throwing them blows at ourselves, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying, when I be boxing, man, you know what I'm saying, I'll be beating up on that bag, hitting that, you know what I'm saying, hitting that bag and stuff, man. I'm beating myself, bro. I'm hitting that bag, you know what I'm saying? I'll be wanting somebody like to airbrush a sculpture of me on the punching bag, like have a guy airbrush a picture of myself. Because I want to whoop them demons and the things that I'm battling against, bro. We fight more against ourselves than the things we going out here in the world that we feel like is against us.
Man,
if you whoop them things that you fighting with, it's easy for you to go out in the world and be positive and carry such an aura with you that brings out positivity, that people that's got a negative, you know what I'm saying, perception or a negative attitude, you know what I'm saying, you will bring light to their day, to where how they usually deal with people. It's something about you, they feel like, I don't even feel comfortable saying this to him. Or I don't even feel like, you know what I'm saying, or you could change their perception on the average customer they're dealing with. Oh, dang, something about him different. He came off, he said, you know, and they just like, okay, you know, and they might want to get smart, but it's just like, you know what I'm saying, they shut it down because they feel something different. And we just got to carry that out in the world where people could feel like it's something different about him. I need that energy.
Yes,
I want that. Whatever he got, I need that, because that energy that he carrying, that spirit, that love I feel on him, it makes me want to fight against my demons, my attitude, my shortcomings. You know what I'm saying? So we just, man, it's a self thing, man. If we all just work on ourselves, man, and we, like I said, we get on them punching bags and we beat them things up, man. We're gonna look up, man, and we're gonna find ourselves going out to the world and making it a better place for everybody, just to start, you know what I'm saying, going back in they you know what I'm saying, the quiet place and saying, where am I missing it at?
Right, brother. Hey, man, you 100% spitting, man. I hear the heart and the message that's coming through, man. And I hope I know this connected with somebody. Hell, when you was talking, it was connected to me. You know what I'm saying? The battle is yourself. And I want to just tweak that a little bit. The battle is the thoughts that you're carrying within yourself.
Come on.
It's the demonic thoughts that are working against you. And if you don't understand the concept of spiritual ideas that we can possess that are not us, then it's easier that is the enemy. Like, you're not fighting yourself in a sense of you're the problem. You're fighting the thoughts that you've baked in. And this is why God wants you to get his thoughts. It's the new thoughts. It's these thoughts that you have the capability and the opportunity to produce, because you have all the skills and you are mechanistically made to produce and be anything that you see in your mind. So having these good, positive realities about yourself allows you to fight the negative processes or emotions that come against you that tell you you're not or make you insecure. That battle, like you said, that's the punching bag. That's the monster that's coming against you. It's internal. It's not the people that's outside of us. We have to learn when we are falling and we're going through to fight ourselves relative to the thoughts that we hold and we possess that are not us, but we have to kill those demons that are inside, man. I love that.
Man, God just gave me something so deep. I'm about to blow your mind off what you was just saying, bro. We often wonder why it seems like the people around us, you know what I'm saying, that's so close to us be the most jealous. Why the people around us, you know we have something going on and they the first one not to support. And we be like, man, it's people that I don't know support me more than people that I don't know. It's those demons. It's those shortcomings. It's some insecurities, because the people that's close to you, they get intimate in your life and they get to see how God bless you. They get to see the things, you know what I'm saying, in them that allows them to want to work on the things that they feel like they need to work on, you know what I'm saying, to get where you at in life, or feel like, you know what I'm saying, how can they get obtain, you know what I'm saying, some of the things that God allowed them to get close to you to see that you got. And instead of them being able to tap into, you know what I'm saying, pussy, I'm one of them guys, I pull from everybody around me. You know what I'm saying? I got so many guys, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, it ain't about money, you know what I'm saying, that I pull different characteristics from, you know what I'm saying, to just build my character, that it's hard for me to look at anybody to get jealous, because I use things that I see in people for motivation. Right. But a lot of people haven't grown to that maturity to be able to get close to you and see how God has blessed your life and be able to say, you know what, I want to pull from that. It instantly builds an insecurity in them and allows them to look at themselves and be insecure and be like jealous of you, not because they want to, but because they haven't tapped in and found out how to deal with them demons, them monsters, like you saying, to where it's just like, I'm not going to use what I know about this individual to build jealousy up in me. I'm going to use it to build it for motivation and tap into that brother and ask him, you know, how can I, you know what I'm saying, you know, how can I get this? Show me what I need to do to get this in this area. You know what I'm saying? Because it'd be a lot of things that people will look at you and be jealous of that ain't got nothing to do with money. You know what I'm saying? A guy carrying obesity, you know what I'm saying? And he looking at you and he see how you got dedication on working out, and you can change your diet, and he fat, and he, you know what I'm saying, he may got all the money in the world, but he battling with weight loss, or he looking at your charisma, or he look how, you know what I'm saying, you can walk in the room and your aura just give off a certain presence to where people gravitate to you. Man, it'd be so much stuff that you deal with that bring about jealousy that's more than just materialistic stuff. We got to understand that, you know, we got to look at people and use the things that we got, you know what I'm saying, to build us, you know what I'm saying? And God put people in your life for a reason. And it's not for you to get close to them and bring about jealousy, you know what I'm saying, or be hating. God be trying to put people in your life so it can motivate you, you know what I'm saying, because he using that person in your life to take you to the next level. But if you're not clinging and grabbing on to the right things as to why God putting people in your life, then you can lose that person and never get, you know what I'm saying, out of the situation what God put them there for. So we just got to understand that everything happened for a reason. God, you know what I'm saying, works in mysterious ways. And, you know, we got to stop tapping in people and grabbing, you know what I'm saying, the beauty out of people, you know what I'm saying, and not letting the visual, you know what I'm saying, deter us, because that's what the devil do. He allowed the visual, or he allowed the very thing in you that you insecure about to find in somebody else, to allow you to get jealous or get distracted, so you can't really focus on why God put that person in your life, because the devil got you distracted by, you know, your own personal shortcomings or insecurities of what you not, you know what I'm saying, you know, you're not aware of, to where a person come in your life and you paying attention to all the wrong things. We just gotta be aware of the devil tactics, man.
That's it. It's aware of it, right? Aware of that negative, that envious thought, that hatred is not you. That is an idea that is from darkness that you possess, and you're carrying that character trait, and it allows you to disrupt relationships that are sent to bless you. And so all of this is about a self-check, a self-evaluation. It's not like you want to go ahead, jump in.
Yeah, man, I want to just piggyback off you. That's why we get into positions where people love on us, and we feel their compassion and they love to the point where we shoot slick moves, and then people forgive us, and then it don't do nothing but get worse. You know what I'm saying? But we don't understand, you know, this life is like playing, you know what I'm saying, baseball. You know, a lot of people is on the 3-strike rule, and once you strike out, you mess around and lose out. You know what I'm saying? You walk away from the situation and not getting the very, you know what I'm saying, blessing that God put that person in your life for. So, you know, we got to quit taking people for granted, and we got to quit trying to misuse their love, you know what I'm saying, and their emotion, and take advantage of that. Because I tell a lot of my, you know what I'm saying, cats like, dog, you know what I'm saying, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? You know, when I forgive people, don't do that, bro, because I'm only going to let stuff slide. Now I'm on a run strike rule right now, bro. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm at, I ain't got no time. You know what I'm saying? I tell the people all the time, I ain't got no time for the BS, bro. You know what I'm saying? So when I come, you know what I'm saying? If I come, give me the same energy. You know what I'm saying? Deal with me the way I deal with you. If I deal with you with love, if I'm there for you when you need me in whatever area, give me the same type of energy. If you can't give me that, then I got to slide on you. I ain't about to sit around and keep waiting on your growth. Keep waiting on, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times people be trying to pimp you, bro. You know what I'm saying? And for their own selfish reasons, and it's nothing genuine about them. And you'll sit around trying to forgive them, thinking you're trying to find that love, you know what I'm saying, and get and think they're gonna give you, and you're gonna reciprocate back what you putting out. And the person just all along, they just taking like leeches, they just sucking. So a lot of times you got to see a person for who they are and just slide on them, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And for the point of this topic, we have to understand when we have this negative trait characteristic inside of us, where it's not no love, where we sacrifice and helping the people that God placed in our life, it's lust. What can we take from them? Again, that's a self thing. That's a self demon. That's a self monster that we got to realize that feeling we're trying to quench of just being better from our own insecurities. That's a battle that we got to face within our own self. And if you don't face these things, it creates, back to the point, depression, because you keep evaluating your lack thereof for producing to the people that you basically admire. I'm gonna tell you the benefit of admiring, but we don't use it right. That turns into jealousy. And the last thing I'm gonna say, we're gonna wrap this up, because again, it's all about helping ourselves come out of these holes that we're in. And it's beautiful that you brought this up. We're gonna have to have a whole topic about that. The people that God put in our lives. Watch this. When you admire somebody and you see some character trait that's good that you want to esteem to be, like you said, you're not supposed to take and be jealous of that. That's an enemy's thought process. You're supposed to look at those you admire as a sign of what a characteristic or a glimpse of who God is. When you see greatness in somebody else, that is all the people we admire are glimpses of somebody who's mastered the greatness or the goodness of God. You know what I'm saying? So if you got a work ethic, if you treat your wife right, if this one person knows how to handle money and be a good steward and manage their things, if this person knows how to have peace in the storm and control anger and not backlash and respond, things that we admire in people are all indications of God's presence in that person. And so God put those people in our life that we can see God and say, I want to bring my character to match that. And the more people we galvanize and admire, we could use as basically the way that is worship to God, because you're seeing God and you're admiring God in people, and you're supposed to mimic that behavior. And that produces fruit for you. That produces character for you. That produces you coming out of the depressive thoughts of yourself and seeing God in others and gleaning from that information, man. And so the more we know that it's all a battle against the thoughts that are negative within us, and we can see God in others, don't take for granted what God is doing by placing people in your life that have value. Extract that goodness and mimic it. Never envy or hate it.
Man, that's a wrap.
That's a wrap. Enough said. Willing responding as people should. We'll see you on the next one, baby. Love y'all.
God bless y'all. Love you, cuz.
I'm Cal and Dave Jones are the host of the show. We living in some difficult times, as most of us know. Let's lift each other up and put down the stress. If you didn't know, the name of the show is called Raps.